What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Buzzworthy Bumblebee Voyager class Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime. That was a mouthful of a title, but here we are finally got this figure essentially for my birthday. So really happy I finally got this guy because as you guys, if you guys are US residents, you will know that this is a Target exclusive, and unfortunately I visited maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 Targets around my area-ish, hour and a half away, maybe 2 hours. Nothing, no dice. I haven't not been able to find a single Buzzworthy Bumblebee Optimus Prime, so I caved and bought it on eBay. So at the end of the day, what are you going to do? But here we do have him now. You obviously have the nice artwork of Bumblebee here. Optimus Prime, 102, Buzzworthy Bumblebee. Transformers, we got the Studio Series right there as well. Got some nice artwork there of Optimus Prime. Got some more nice artwork there of just the Buzzworthy stuff with Optimus Prime. There's Optimus Primal as well, RC down there. And finally, our obligatory product shots. Transforms in 34 steps. And then you do get a display base that I believe is the... I'm trying to take a look at this thing. I believe this is Peru. I believe this is in Peru during the festival in the movie. So really interesting and cool to see. Overall, though, that's really about it for the box. So without further ado, here we have the Transformers Studios Series Buzzworthy Bumblebee Voyager class Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime in his truck mode. And this is really the only area, in my opinion, where this figure has a major fault, and that's specifically with the truck mode. Now, from the front, this guy looks really solid. You can see the very nice bumper here. You can see the nice silver paint for the grille, nice silver paint for the stripe, nice silver paint up here right above the windshield. You have also the nice red paint as well. The wipers are even painted in here. The nice silver painted headlights as well. Got the nice tires here as well that are also in the black and gray and silver plastic. Again, the silver stripe continues here. You do have a little bit of a break here with this gray. This is a bit unfortunate. I wish this was painted red, but it still looks fine. You have very nice more molded detail around here. You can see some very nice molded detail across, but where this truck has issues is when I do this. Now, actually, those need to be folded out, but right there. It's ugly. It looks really bad. And it's a real shame that the front of the truck looks perfectly fine, but it's really just this back half that looks ugly. I mean, it looks anorexic. Like there's nothing here besides the wheels, which are nicely molded, and this guy rolls very well, which is cool, but yeah, it just looks awful. I don't understand why they couldn't have found a way for these just to refold down over the wheels and then just form fenders. But man, it just... Ah, man, this looks really rough. I mean, it's just a hodgepodge of shapes, and it just doesn't look like a truck, like a cab back, where the tow hook would be like about here or whatever. Man, it just does not look right, and it's really sad for me to say that despite the fact that it is well painted. It's just unfortunate, and well molded. It's just really unfortunate that the back of the truck really suffers in this, but overall, still okay. The Rise of the Beast, not the Rise of the Beast, excuse me, the Voyager class Bumblebee Studio Series Optimus Prime had a much cleaner truck mode than this one, which I don't have him on hand right now to compare, but at the end of the day, if you guys have that figure, if you look up pictures of that figure in its truck mode, you can definitely see right away that that truck mode is just in ways just better than this in most aspects, pretty much all aspects, specifically the back here, obviously. But what you can see is you can't store the weapons, so this is going to be his arm cannon. You can just store that. As you can see, there's a little peg right there. I love peg hole right there, and then you can just use one of these pegs on the actual little gun to peg it in, so you can use like this one. I believe you can also use this one as well, so either or works just fine. Very nicely molded. Again, whoops, very tiny as well, but not extremely well painted, obviously, when it comes to this. Oh, excuse me. When it comes to this little gun here, it is very nicely molded, but just unfortunately not very well painted. But again, what are you going to do? Setting that off to the side, you also have his sword here, which can plug in between. So what you'll notice here is when I'm swinging the legs apart, you can see there's a little tab hole right there, and then you can just see that there's a peg right here. But taking a look at this, very nice silver, very nicely painted, because it's like this sort of gunmetal gray, very nicely molded as well. You can see the nice molded in detail there, and it looks really, really solid overall. So that's really it for the accessories and the vehicle mode. So we're going to do some quick comparisons. So setting Optimus Prime off to the side here. First comparison, we have him here with the Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Deluxe Class Bumblebee. As you can see, these two scale relatively well together. Bumblebee is a bit bigger than I expected him to be, and Optimus Prime might be also a bit smaller. But yeah, I think these two scale together okay. Obviously, Optimus Prime should be much bigger, but at the end of the day, the robot modes is where these count, and the robot mode of this figure absolutely kicks ass. So really, really solid stuff overall. Really okay scale, despite Bumblebee maybe being a bit bigger or Optimus Prime being a bit smaller than I'd like them to be. Alright, here he is with the Studio Series Rise of the Beasts leader class, Scourge. And when it comes to Scourge here, there is a huge size difference. Now, this is where, obviously, Voyager leader, I wouldn't have minded Optimus Prime if he was a bit bigger than he is, but that might have pushed him to leader class size. But you can see the huge size difference between these two. So, absolutely huge, but at the end of the day, I do think that they scale okay in robot mode. So, even though that Scourge is much bigger in his truck mode, and in his robot mode affair, but it's not too out of scale to where I'm not believing this. And I think that this is still okay at the end of the day. It's just definitely you can see the very big size differences here between Scourge as well as Optimus Prime. So there's that scale. And for the final size comparison, here he is with Optimus Primal in his Gorilla mode. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is an alt mode, so you guys might as well take a look and see how these two look together. As you can see, obviously there is a big size difference, but at the same time, this guy being a leader has more heft to him than Optimus does, but still, these two look really nice together. The only issue I have is that you'll see this is certainly not really the size of what Primal's Gorilla mode should be, especially when you compare it to the shots in the movie. He should be even bigger than he actually is, which I understand why they made him a bit smaller so that he scales in robot mode. But yeah, that is certainly a shame that recreating that shot of when Optimus Primal and Optimus Prime first meet isn't the easiest, considering, again, this guy isn't the correct size in his Gorilla mode. But just wanted to give you guys this comparison so you guys can at least take a look at how these two look in their alt modes. Alrighty, folks, the next thing we're going to get to is transformation. And this guy really is not that hard to transform at all, and I find that very, very nice for a figure like this. So, getting into transformation, let's start off with the back of the truck, which will become the legs. So, we're going to untab these sections here from the smokestacks as well as the back of the truck. And what you're going to do is you're going to split this apart, and then you're just going to rotate the foot out and then rotate it forward like so. Rotate the foot out and then rotate it around like so. And then you're going to take these two blue bits here, and then you're just going to fold them in. Nothing crazy, and then you're just going to take these, you're going to fold them down, and then they'll just snap right into place. And it'll just snap right into place. And you basically have this bottom half of his robot mode kind of finished already. Then coming up here, you're going to take this, and I like to grab these little tabs here, and then you can just grab them and then untab these sections here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to also flip these up so that the Autobot logos are showing on each side. So you'll just go on each side and you flip up the Autobot logos. And then what you can do here is you can take this front section and remove it, and then you can split this entire section. And then what you're going to do is that these, you have to rotate this up like so. But if you push the arm out, sorry, these you have to rotate up like so. But if you push the arm out like this, it's really hard to rotate these. So keep the arm like this and just rotate it up, and then do the same on this side. So you're going to go to this side. You're going to keep the arm in, and you're just going to rotate this up. And then what you're going to do is rotate the entire body around. And then you're going to lift this up, and then you're going to fold each of the wheels in on each of the sides. And then you're just going to take this and rotate it down like so. And then what you'll do, now you can take the arms and rotate them into place like this. And then from here, what you got to do, open up the chest, rotate the head out, and then fold this piece down. And then you can snap those together. Then for each of the arms, what you're going to do is essentially open this up, rotate the fist out. Then you're just going to fold, then rotate this around, and then you essentially have the fist. Same thing here, so what you're going to do, fold this out, like so, rotate the fist around, rotate around, close this up, fold, fold in, rotate all the way around. Then the last thing you got to do, just bring it up here. Come here, and essentially you see this huge tab here. It'll just take this, and this will tab right into place. You'll feel it snap into place, and it'll be secured. And so without further ado, oh, the last thing, sorry. You take these sections, these gray bits that were on the back of the truck, and you fold these up on each side. Ladies and gentlemen, here we do have the Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Voyager class Optimus Prime in his very cool looking robot mode. And this is where this figure absolutely knocks it out of the park. This is an amazing representation of what we got with Optimus Prime from the Rise of the Beasts movie, and I couldn't be more happy to have this robot mode in my collection. So taking a look here, you can definitely see the more Rise of the Beasts accurate face sculpt here. It's great. You even got some molded detail on the actual face mask. You can see the blue eyes, very nice, silver for the crest there, obviously blue for the rest of the head. Then taking a look here, you can see the very nice, the windshield with the silver paint up here, and then you got this nice ab detail here, very, very nice with the gunmetal gray, nice yellow here as well. Going down here, just have a lot of nice molded in details across the board, and just going down, you can see very, very nice overall. And even looking at this guy from the side, there's really nothing on his back for a backpack, so he's a very clean, very, very clean Optimus Prime. So very, very cool stuff, and I'm very, very happy with how this guy looks. I think from an aesthetic standpoint, it's pretty much a perfect, almost perfect representation of what we saw on screen in the Rise of the Beasts movie. And so, now done looking at the details, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. So taking a look at the accessories, obviously we do have that gun. So the way that you're going to put that gun on is you can flip this up, and then you just either hand, and then you can rotate this in, and then there'll be a peg there. Just fold this back down, and then you just got to peg the one side in, and then Optimus Prime will have his gun. So he has this little arm cannon, so very cool stuff. You'll definitely see some cool pictures that I'm going to take with this. So very, very nice there. And then for his sword, you can actually have him hold it, so he can actually just hold it in his hand like this. Or what you can do is, essentially, if you look, there's a little tab hole right there above the fist, and then you can just do something like this, where you just plug it in with the blue tab on the bottom of the hilt of the sword, and then you can recreate essentially like the, you know, the sword coming out of his hand type deal. But really nice and very nice integrated accessories with that. And then from here, what you can do, if you want to store them, you can store them on his back. So what you can do is use those same tabs they used to tab the gun on his truck mode, and then you can just tab him in here essentially. So you just tab it in, and then you do have that. And then for the sword, you can just do the same, and you can just tab it in wherever you feel like it. So specifically with these bigger tabs here, you can just use that blue tab, or no, sorry, the smaller one. You can use the blue tab, and then you can just tap that into place, and then you can have your nice weapon storage here. And then obviously all you gotta do is fold the fist back out here, and that is done and done. So yeah, there's some really solid accessories that are pretty well done. Overall, really, really nice robot mode, and I can't really complain all too much about how this guy is. So really, really solid stuff from Hasbro with this guy. Alright, now we're going to get into some comparisons. So, setting Optimus Prime off to the side here. Alrighty, folks, here we have Optimus Prime with Bumblebee, the Deluxe Class Bumblebee, and as you can see that these two scale very well together. Bumblebee should obviously be much smaller than Optimus Prime, but again, that these two look very, very nice together, and I can't really complain at how these two look. Here he is with Scourge, and as you can see, Scourge definitely is bigger than Optimus Prime, but not by as much as you'd think. Now, I do think that Optimus Prime could stand to be a tad bit bigger than he actually is, but at the end of the day, this scale is not the end of the world. Sure, Scourge could be maybe a little bit tinier. Sure, Optimus Prime could be a little bit bigger if you really wanted to go like that, either way, but at the same time, I do think that this scale is not too far out of proportion. So overall, pretty solid stuff. Alrighty, and the last comparison we're going to do is with Optimus Primo, first in his Gorilla mode, and as you can see, this is what I was talking about. Optimus Primal in the trailer was clearly eye to eye with Prime also in his Gorilla mode, but as you can see that is not the case here. It is real unfortunate. He should be, again, like this. It should be primal about like right here, but at the end of the day, they more engineered it for the robot modes to end up scaling rather than the actual gorilla mode, which does blow a little bit, but it's not unbelievable. It's just I do wish that he was a tad bit bigger than he actually was. So what are you gonna do at the end of the day? This sucks. But here's his obviously here's his gorilla mode. And here we have both leaders in their robot modes compared to each other. Obviously, there is Optimus Primal in his robot mode, and this is where they were going for the scale with Optimus Primal, more in their robot modes rather than their the alt mode. And so as you can see, these two scale very well together, and they're basically the same height, but this guy obviously has more heft to him and better engineering in terms of just pretty much everything, specifically his alt mode as well. So overall, still really solid scale. And the one thing I'd like to show again, well, not again, that I forgot to show earlier, is that this axe that comes with Optimus Primal is obviously compatible here with Optimus Prime. So it is very nice to see that they're doing something sort of similar to the figure arts and what they're doing. They're giving accessories to other characters in the other figures that you can also be used with the other characters. So really solid stuff. Very, very cool. Alrighty, and finally, the last thing we're going to be doing here before we get into the reverse transformation is the articulation, which he is really solid on. Ball joint at the head, full 360 down about that much, up about that much, full 360 at the arms as well. You also get, actually don't get, it's a bit unfortunate, you have to rotate this up to get any up movement, which really does blow, and these, I'm going to remove the accessories for now so they don't get in the way, but you have to move them up so that you actually get some up and down movement, which really does blow. Oh wait, actually might have just rotated, but you get up and down, then you get a rotation at the upper part of the bicep, a little more than 90, actually a lot more than 90 at the elbow, and then you do get the wrist articulation. You also do get full waist, which is sick. These side skirts also lift up to give you clearance, so you go out, you can go in, you can go kick forward about this far, you can kick backwards a little, actually a lot less further here because of the these parts like to bump into each other. But you do get a little more than 90 at the elbow. You do get an upper thigh rotation, and then you also get some ankle rocker pivot. So you can get some pretty, you can do the splits with this guy pretty decently. So very, very nice to see, and pretty solid posability from this Optimus Prime. Alrighty, now it's time to get into the reverse transformation, and it's not too bad. So we're going to start off here. Let's straighten this guy out from the nice pose I had him in. Then what we'll do is we'll unfold the chest here. Then we will fold this up into his face. Make sure the face is straight, and then just fold this down. Put that back in there. Fold the chest back together. Take this section and untab it. And then what you're going to do is essentially rotate this all the way up, and then you can swing this all the way around. And then from here, we'll do the legs. Or actually, no, we'll do the legs last. I apologize for that. Then what we'll do, we'll take this, fold it up, and rotate it around. Do the same thing here. Fold the arm up, twist it around, and rotate this so that make sure this is like this. Then from here, what you can do is you can take these gray bits, and then you can fold them down. I like to do this now. And then from here, what you're going to do, rotate this so that the black part is facing where the Autobot logo is facing. And then from here, you can fold this all the way out. Take the fists, fold those in, so flip that up, fold that in, and do the same here. So do this, rotate this all the way around so that the black part is facing the front, fold it out, take the fist, so open this up, rotate it in, do that, and now we have this part. Then what you can do is you can rotate these around, and you can essentially try to stuff the arms in like so. So make sure these are folded back, and then you'll do your best to stuff the arms under there like so. And what you'll do, you fold these panels down on each side, and this might get knocked around a little bit. It should be okay. Yep, make sure that's all straight, and then you can just fold these up, and these will just snap into place like so, like that, and then you got that going. And then from here, you can take the front section and then just tab this all into place. Oh, excuse me, fold the wheels up, and then you can make sure you can tab this all into place and just push that in. And then finally for the legs, very, very simple. Take these sections and accordion them from there, untab them, excuse me, like so. Then you can take these sections, tab them together, and then you can just rotate these forward like so. Then you can take, oh, well, you don't have to tab them yet, sorry. And then you can fold these feet in, rotate them in like this. Now you can tab it together. And what you'll do is you'll sort of straighten this guy out. And then what you'll see here is that there is a tab hole right there. And then there is a tab right there, and then that will go, so the hole will go into this peg here on the back of the truck, and then that one tab on the front of the leg, this one will go into this tab hole right here. So just gotta line this all up, and then you can just do that. Same thing on this side. Just line this all up, and then you can tab that into place. Make sure that this is all tabbed together. And then, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Studio Series Buzzworthy Bumblebee Rise of the Beasts Voyager class Optimus Prime back in his truck mode. And so, guys, for my final concluding thoughts on the Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee, a Buzzworthy Bumblebee Voyager class Optimus Prime, this guy is really solid. Honestly, a pretty cool figure all the way around. You know, unfortunately, the biggest gripe I have with this figure that everybody also has is the truck mode. The truck mode sucks mainly because of that back. The front looks fine. It's just really that back part of the truck that looks really awful. Other than that, transformation is nice and simple, but also complex in its own ways, but not frustrating. In addition to that, the robot mode is not only looking very good, but also is very well articulated. In addition, the whole figure is very well painted. So overall, if I have to give this figure a score out of 10, probably going to give it between a 7 and an 8. You can argue a 7 if you really want to be really bitter about that back end of the truck mode, but personally I think that the rest of the figure more than makes up for the lack of a very good, truck bed essentially. And when it comes to this, also comes with very nice accessories too. And then it's nice if you have the Optimus Primal, as that axe is obviously compatible with Optimus Prime here. And so I did pick mine up on eBay. And I can't really link you guys any other links for buying this guy because Big Bad Toy Store doesn't have him. Amazon will not have him. Well, if they do, it's for a very unreasonable price. Same thing for eBay. So I guess if you're really going to be looking for this thing, the only place is eBay, but the other place obviously is IRL, and I wish you the best of luck with that. So no links today, unfortunately. Can't really provide those to you, but I will, well, at the very least, I'll provide you guys maybe some, like an eBay search link so you guys can go and take a look at that possibly. So we'll see what happens with that. So that's about it. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Also follow me in the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.